Hi everyone, and welcome to the podcast Fly with Mel. I usually use this podcast to talk about travel and self-development with people that I meet along the way. Today, I'm with my friend Elena that I've met here in Australia to talk about her new superpower that she discovered here by living abroad. It's all about Reiki and energy. So take a seat and enjoy. So as you may know, I meet a lot of people here in Australia thanks to event, thanks to friend of friends. And I've met Elena last year and she talked to me about this thing, which is the Reiki. So we decided to do a podcast about it because it's really interesting. And I'm really happy that she's going to explain that to you today, guys.
Hello, Mel. Thank you for having me here.
Before we start, can you just tell us a little bit about your background, your story? How did you decide to come abroad, to come to Australia? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So I moved abroad almost 14 years ago. I sound so old when I say that.
14 years ago.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. 2007, I moved to Canada to study. I was in Montreal. I did my business school there, but even before that, I knew, like, when I was really young, that I wanted to go abroad and like study and travel and live abroad. It's just that before that, I think I was just young. My parents didn't really want me to be so far away, and yeah, never went back to France since.
Wow. Okay, and you don't miss France?
Yeah, sometimes I guess it's a nice country. I miss my friends, I miss my family, I miss cheese. But I'm also fine abroad, meeting lots of interesting people as well, just like what you said.
So I guess you're very easygoing and you can adapt yourself in any kind of environment.
Yeah, it's not easy in the first place, in the first move, but after a while, yes, it's like decreasing your fears and changing a bit your mindset with being abroad.
Okay. So why Australia? When did you decide to come to the kangaroos country?
Yeah, so when I was really young, as I was saying, I really wanted to go abroad, and I had pictures of kangaroos and koalas and uluru in my room. I was perhaps 7 years old. Okay. So I knew that one day it would be the ultimate place to come. And at the time, I was in Singapore working for a company, and I just ended up transferring to Australia with them and arriving to Sydney after visiting the country, also on vacation with friends. And I fell in love with Sydney. Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to. And
in which field were you working? Because you were saying that you were transferred from your work in Singapore.
Yeah, I was working in pharmaceuticals in finance. Okay. And then I got transferred here through the same company, and I did a bit more of pricing in there. But
did you like this field? Was it like, is it your area of?
The time, so I studied finance in business school. And I just wanted something that would allow me basically to work from anywhere in the world, which ended up being the case, finding a job easily. But I never really had a passion for it, frankly. So transitioned a bit out of it into now working for a healthcare organization.
Okay, so you've changed totally.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
One industry to another.
Yeah.
So I guess it wasn't so hard for you to settle down here in Australia. Can you describe us a little bit your lifestyle, or how were your first years to adapt yourself here in this new environment?
Yeah, so Sydney is really good in that sense that you can have a very good quality of life. You work, but you can also exercise in the morning, meet friends in the evening. So this is really what I enjoy the most here. Being here and having so much time for yourself is really rich, because you can also learn a lot about yourself, and this is what happened to me. I'm really thankful for being here. It's been 5 years already, and I have discovered so many good things about me. My love for yoga, nature, the environment, and also where I discovered my superpower.
Yes. So we're gonna talk about that more in a second, because you told me this story, and I'm really grateful that you're able now to share this story with everyone here. So can you tell us a bit more about that? When did you discover? So you told me about this energy in your body. Can you just tell us the whole story behind that?
Well, I guess I always had a really stressful job in being in finance and working on many tight deadlines and projects. And I'm also a very light sleeper, so I've had insomnia my whole life. And my mom was insisting a lot that I would try some yoga and do meditation to help me calm down. And I started doing some yoga maybe 8 years ago now. And that
so
was
before Sydney.
Before Sydney, that's right. And moving to Sydney was automatic that I would join a yoga studio and perhaps meet some people through yoga. And one day, a friend of mine tells me, "Oh, well, I just signed up for 8-week yoga program. You would like it, I'm sure. It would be incorporating very different styles of yoga. I know you like it, and join me." And I thought, oh yeah, cool. I only know like perhaps two types of yoga. I will meet my friends on Saturday. Yeah, I will join. And the first session I remember was incredibly moving, and it changed my life basically.
Wow, the first week.
Yeah. The session was meant to be for like 2 hours, and within the first hour I started to have a lot of weird sensations that I can develop here if you want.
Yeah. Which kind of sensation?
Yeah, so the yoga was Kundalini yoga focused, and usually it's a yoga that is not very known. People know more about Hatha and Vinyasa yoga. Kundalini yoga is more working on the breath, and it's moving meditation, that's what we call. So we chant some mantras, and the idea is to be in movement, but you would never do a downward facing dog, for example, when you do that type of yoga. It's really more focusing on the
your inner sensations, or
and the breathing, the focus, and it's less moving, less physical,
and more like mind.
Correct.
Mindful.
Yes.
Okay.
But you do some movements, and I started to feel fire in my hands, like burning sensation. And we did the meditation at the end of the session with my yoga teacher, and then I started to just have so much energy and have this burn in my hands that it was a bit strange. And I went back home, couldn't sleep for 3 days because it was just like having 3 shots of coffee before going to bed. I had so much energy and I didn't know what was happening.
So it was good energy? Would you say it was a good feeling, or it was just like a strange because it was hot in your hand?
Yeah, it was strange at first because I didn't know what it was. And of course, being an insomniac, I was like, oh, no way, I'm not gonna sleep again. So I talked to my yoga teacher about it, and then she said, wait a few days and see how you feel. Was still feeling the same, and she pointed me after that towards Reiki, and I had no idea what it was. I'm a more rational person, like I guess by trade, because I studied finance and I spent a lot of time reading science articles more than metaphysical stuff, if you will. And then she told me, oh, with Reiki, you can start to treat yourself if you have some headaches or stomach pain. And I was like, what is that? And eventually I ended up meeting people that were pointing me definitely into that direction. And then usually when you're on the right path, this is what happens. And so I started to read a lot about it and discovered a big rabbit hole of this world, let's say. And the key part was also meeting someone who is one of my best friends now, and she was also in that phase of discovering her own superpower.
Okay. Was it the same one?
She a bit similar, like she wasn't using her hands to do it, but she felt like she could feel people's energy, and if they were, you know, feeling bad or feeling good, like she was very sensitive, and she kind of felt there was something she can do about it.
Okay.
And then for me it was really with the hands, just because the burning sensations were really in my hands. And yeah, we thought, okay, let's maybe, I don't know, train on each other, exercise on each other, and yeah, this is how it happened.
You're telling me a lot about energy, what you felt, your superpower. I feel like we are in a movie now. Can you just explain us deeply and exactly what is Reiki? What is it?
Yeah, so Reiki is a Japanese technique that I guess goes into the broader category that is called in English energetic healing. But in France, I'm going to use a few French words here because I know we have a French audience.
Yes.
We know more magnétiseur, rebouteux, barreur de feu, guérisseur.
Okay.
Is another word. But yeah, Reiki is less known in France. In France, it's more about a way to treat on the physical, emotional, and psychological aspect.
Okay.
And to be more concrete, what happens is that I am very sensitive to people's energies, to how they feel, what are the different sources of pain that they can have. So with my hands, it's like scanning through those energies and being able to see where I can help, where the energy is blocked. And
so, for example, if I feel some pain in my knee, you are able to feel it and to remove the pain in a kind of
yeah, exactly. It's understanding, is it really the knee that is actually painful? You feel it's painful, but perhaps the issue is actually somewhere else, and it has the impact on the knee, and that I can help to release, and remove the pain.
Wow. Okay. And so, is it just about pain, or is it also about what can happen in your mind? So, for example, people who are always negative or complaining or like feeling down, I feel like it's not a pain that you have in your body, but you have inside. Are you also doing something with that?
Reiki and energetic healing in general helps with the physical aspect, that's for sure. So any type of pain, any type of skin problems is also something that people come to talk to me about.
Oh, really? Like acne and wrinkles?
Yeah, eczema, warts, verrues in French.
Thanks for the translation. Very important.
Yes.
So you can heal skin issues by moving the energies.
Yeah. Usually with warts, people end up, they go and see a dermatologist, and last resort, because they can't treat it, sometimes they can't treat it, they go and see energetic healer. And that happens to me a lot, yes.
How would you describe the fact that people would come to you and trust you instead of going to the doctor and just taking medicines, for example?
So usually either people have had an experience with energetic healing and they trust it, right away because they have always used a healer or the family know someone who does energetic healing, or because they've tried everything, they're willing to try something else. And I also have people who tell me, I've tried everything, nothing worked, the medicine cannot help me, and I'm willing to take the last chance. And there's nothing to lose with doing Reiki or energetic healing. Nothing bad can happen. So there's that. And Reiki, there's a lot of scientific research now that is being published around the power of Reiki on the non-physical aspect, so anything more psychological or emotional. So for example, stress, anxiety, insomnia.
So all this stuff can bring something to your body, that's what you mean?
So what I mean is that more and more, Reiki is being recognized for what else is causing me a disease or what else is causing me to feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we feel energy, we feel we have back pain, for example, and we can just think, oh, it's because I hurt my back. But perhaps you have this part of your body that hurts because of all the heaviness that is stored in your mind, of all those issues that you constantly think about, and then the energy is going to get stored in your back instead of being stuck in your mind. So there is always a signification for physical issue, a signification of that is non-physical. And the Reiki, or my knowledge, or the things that I read, is helping me to understand how to remove that pain or that stress. And
so from what I understand, sometimes you feel a headache or any pain anywhere in your body. You cannot explain it because you don't know from where it is, because you didn't hurt yourself, right? Is it, if I understand it well?
Yeah,
it's because
correct.
You didn't hurt yourself significantly, but just you feel some pain, and you can explain that because you have some pain in yourself, in your mind. So that's why you can do a kind of an intervention here and heal the energy.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. So can you just explain us a little bit, how is a Reiki session? How do you do that? How do we do that to move our energies and feel better if we have any pain or anything else?
So every session, I would say, is quite similar with me. I do in person, but also distant healing. So it means that they don't necessarily need to be in the same room as the person. So in the first few minutes, we're gonna talk about what the person wants to get treated for. I need to understand a bit the background also, sometimes of the history of the person. Mm-hmm. And then the person is gonna be lying down on the bed to relax during the treatment. Then with my hands, I'm gonna scan the body and feel where it's tingling for me or where it's hot, because that's how I notice I need to work on something. Sometimes also the person would come, as I said, for knee problem or back problem, but where I'm going to work is going to be a different place. Mm-hmm. And then when it's the end of the session, we're going to talk about what the person has felt, if he or she has felt anything. Also, what were my sensations. Sometimes I also have other messages for the person that I'm going to give. And usually it's to help improve the situation, remove the pain, but also there's some other psychological or emotional work that is going to come with it.
And how do you do with someone who is not in the same room? So you said you can do a distant thing. How do you do that? Because you're not scanning the body.
Yeah, so I would imagine that the person's body is still like next to me, and I just do exactly as I would do in person. So
you can feel the energy by being very far away.
Yeah,
wow, okay.
Connected to the person via the voice or via the video. Sometimes I've done also just on picture, especially for children, because it's harder to keep children, laying down on the bed and do nothing. And yeah, because energy is everywhere, and an image that I like to give for people to understand is that if we were all fishes in an ocean, we would not realize we're in the same ocean and we are not united by water. We wouldn't know, but we are. And it's the same for us in being in this universe. We're all connected. We don't necessarily feel it all the time, or we don't realize that, but we are all connected, and so that's how it works.
Wow. Okay, that's very interesting. Does the person feel something when you're scanning the body? Do we feel anything?
Some people don't feel anything because it's still quite subtle. So some people would have a bit of heat wave. They feel there's a heat wave. Some other people would feel a bit cold. Some other people would have like tingling, but it's all very subtle. It's not like I would touch the person, because also I don't know if I specified, but I never touch someone. Some Reiki healers would touch body part, but I never touch. So I'm just
up to the body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, over the body
and feeling the sensation and the like burning point just by scanning the body with your hands
and moving my hands.
Okay.
Yes.
And so would you say that you're rebalancing the energy by scanning the body, or how do you?
Yeah, it's about also removing like old stored energy, and by removing it, it's gonna release. It's gonna help new energy to come, basically. And another image that I like to give for people to understand is like, if you had a vinegar bottle, but you want to put wine into this bottle, you will have to remove the vinegar first, clean the bottle, and then move wine. And this is what I do. I put wine into people.
Okay.
So the idea is, you remove the old energy, or you make the old energy move, so that a newer energy, a cleaner energy can come. And this is why after the treatment, you can feel a bit tired, or you will have to drink a lot of water so that the energies keep moving. And it's like a detoxifying process in itself. So not everyone can feel it, but I would say most people do in general, or they would have like sometimes they feel a pressure in their ear, or like they would have some kind of manifestation. But if you don't feel anything, it doesn't mean it's not working, because I always feel something.
Okay, so you always feel something. It means that it's not working like hypnosis, where you have some people who are not very receptive. You will always feel the energies, and you can always move them. That was
Yes. Then I would say that if some people are completely closed to the idea that I can help them, it might not work.
Okay.
Because it's also in conjunction of the person's energy and their willingness to get treated. And it's the same with hypnosis. If someone doesn't want to stop smoking, but they go and see a hypnotherapist, that won't work.
You have to set the intention in your mind, and you have to be ready for that, so that you're open, your heart is open, and your energies can flow.
Yeah.
Okay. How often should we scan our energies, would you say? Like, do we have any, is it working like a therapy? Do we have to set intentions every month and come to see you, or is it just once a year?
I would say in general, prevention is better than treatment. So just like you would see your dentist, for example, once a year, or you would see an osteopath once a year. With Reiki, it's better if the person comes once or twice during the year. But if you have like pain, I would say you can have improvement within one session, but usually I would advise it's more like 3 or 5, especially if the issue has been there for a long time. So even warts, for example, that have been there for a long time, that is going to take minimum 3 sessions.
So I feel like this superpower is crazy, and that we should all go and see someone who can do some Reiki and scan our energies. But I guess some people are now wondering if there are any side effects of that.
Yeah, some people sometimes are scared that they're gonna get a new problem if they come and see a healer, and actually it can only help. And the only side effects would be you can feel a little bit tired after a session because the energies are moving, and you can feel very thirsty too. So it's really important to hydrate yourself, drink lots of water, and sleep well, like for the next few days. But this is what the worst that can happen.
Okay, yeah, so you cannot like remove the bad energy, but put some new bad energy in your body, like in.
So I wouldn't, and some people could. It's all with the intention of the practitioner, and some people could use it in a bad way, but I don't, and I don't want to. But that's why if someone wants to see a healer, it's really important to get word of mouth or to meet the person perhaps before, or hear the voice of the person to feel the connection. And if your intuition basically connects with the person, if you feel like it would be good to see this person, or if it doesn't really resonate, and then you can go and find someone else, for example.
Always follow your intuition. But yeah, saying it like that, I feel like you have a lot of healer here down there in this world. Would you say that we all have this power to feel others' energy?
It's also a question that I get often, and to that I would say it's just like if you are good in painting or drawing. Some people just wake up and they've always been talented in this area, or other people would perhaps take classes, art classes, and then they can become better. So it's the same with energy. I was probably very sensitive without even having to develop it. And
it's a gift.
Yeah, but then anyone can also develop it if they want to.
So we all have this, we all have energy, I get that. And we all have the ability to feel others' energy if we focus more on that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess there's a work
to do.
Yes.
Okay.
And sometimes it's all about being sensitive also to other people's, to develop empathy and compassion. And some people are more emotionally aware than others. So I guess those ones can develop easily this healing power. And the people that are more close to that are gonna take more time, basically, if they want to.
So it didn't take you too many effort to improve your superpower, because you felt it, and you had you felt it in your gut. So it was just natural process.
I've always been sensitive, as a child, and
sensitive to everything.
Yeah, just feeling people's pain, or feeling that they're happy, and they kind of give me, in a way, their emotions. So coming to the Reiki world was also learning to protect myself from that, and to decide when I'm open to receive people's emotion, or when it's time to focus on myself and be with my own energy, pretty much. And the exercise of spending time alone, learning to calm myself and ground myself, doing meditation and mindfulness, it comes with the superpower. Otherwise, it's difficult.
I would like to link your whole superpower discovery to your travel, which was to be here in Australia. Would you say that being abroad and living in a new lifestyle helped you to be more curious about yourself in a certain way?
Definitely, because moving abroad, all you do is spend time with yourself. You need to make new friends. You don't have your family with you anymore, so you become more open-minded, and you discover new things, new traditions, new cultures, new hobbies. So for sure it's part of it.
So people who are living abroad kind of are more open to discover any new part of themselves.
I think so.
Okay. I would say it's really true. I'm not gonna explain my superpowers, but I feel like we all have some, and if we just focus on ourselves and it's not being selfish, it's just take care of ourselves a little bit more, and the fact that you're taking the time to be alone sometimes, and then you can discover what you have inside, and that you are very, very enough. And so thank you for everything. I would like to wrap up with any recommendation that you would have, or advice for those who would be interested in Reiki. I know that you give some treatments here in Sydney. If you have any message that you would say to these people who would be interested in Sydney, or for the people who are abroad, how can they do that, and which kind of healer can they see?
Yeah, definitely. So feel free to ask ask me any questions. I'm sure Mel can put my details in.
I'm gonna put
in
everything.
the notes.
I'm gonna put your Instagram account in the notes. Yes.
Yeah, and also I would say if you start to ask this question of should I see someone and who should this person be, pay attention to the details of your friends, if they know someone, if they can recommend someone, or if you Google, you find some keywords like, for example, Reiki in Paris, just make sure when you see the picture of the person that the picture gives you a good impression and you feel like you have good energy just by looking at the person. Does it make you smile, or does it make you, to the opposite, it's a bit dark and you wouldn't want to see this person? So yeah, connect with whatever that person seems to be giving as image, or what does your intuition tells you.
Well, thanks a lot, Elena. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, guys. And if you have any question, feel free to ask me. I'll give you all the details to contact Elena if you're interested in Reiki. And that's pretty it. Have a good weekend, guys. Enjoy, and see you later.